Well, we're all stuck in our house, everybody. So what better way to celebrate that than to talk about a movie where people are stuck in their house? There's plenty of them. We did a poll to make sure we did what you people want to see, and now we've gone on to a film about people stuck in a house because there's a murder afoot. That's right. We're talking about not just the movie, but a board game. A movie based on a board game. We're talking about Clue. So shine up your wrenches, your ropes, your revolvers, your candlesticks, any weapon you want for this very, very dice rolling edition of the Revue.
All right, hey, welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big, dumb opinions. I am Troy to the max extreme.
And Troy, I did it in the conservatory with the lead pipe.
I got a question for you. Can you keep a secret?
Yeah.
So can I.
No. Fantastic. Got him.
Yeah. That's right, GT. We are talking about Clue. If anyone has to be stuck in a house, then why can't we watch movies about being stuck in a house? I mean, it only makes sense.
At least we're not stuck in a house with a murderer, am I right?
That we know. Yeah, as you turn around and there's a knife in your back.
Yeah. Molly, what are you doing with that knife?
I was more thinking about the dog had one in his mouth, ready to kill.
My dog would be a murderer.
He sharpened a bone, ready to stick it right in your back. Hey, but before we get into the Clue, why don't we jump into what minor news there is of the week? And I'm going to start with a little ditty of domestic abuse. I didn't know where I was going with that, and I looked at the first note of my thing, and it was, oh no, sorry. Hey, Amber Heard, you might know her from Mira in Aquaman, as well as many L'Oreal ads. But she is now...
That's what I know her from mostly.
Yeah.
I love those L'Oreal ads.
Yeah. Well, I could tell, your hair is usually glamorous. I could tell.
Yeah.
You really
At least the part that's not thinning, it looks fantastic.
I mean, the stuff that's there looks great. But she is going to be possibly fired from Aquaman 2 due to the domestic abuse scandal between her and Johnny Depp. And possibly not...
Are they going to Maggie Gyllenhaal her?
Well, that's the rumor, that Aquaman was such a success that a sequel probably should be warranted for Warner Brothers if they were smart. But they might Gyllenhaal her, for sure. It wouldn't really be that much of a stretch. Like, Mira wasn't a huge part in the first one, really. I mean, she was on the whole adventure, but really, I don't remember anything that she really contributed. And if you just get another, decent actress with bright red hair, it's distracting enough that it's not going to be Amber Heard. You know what I mean? So,
we need a Mira because Aquaman needs someone to fuck.
Yeah, obviously. So there's that, and Warner Brothers also probably will not have her back for any other films as well. That also begs into question if L'Oreal will drop her for her sponsorship. So, it's a big whole thing that happened with Amber Heard. Out of that whole thing, who would have known that Johnny Depp would have come out of this unscathed? You know?
I don't know, I would say unscathed. Maybe less scathed.
Yeah, less scathed, yes. Were they scathing each other? Is that what it was? I never really followed up on it.
It was a total scathe off.
I know during the whole, big Me Too movement for a while there, he was definitely under the gun because there's photos of her with a black eye and stuff, and then he came out with the very revealing tapes of her just mentally and physically abusing him.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the linchpin,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
I think I heard like one of them, and then she was all like, "Yeah, I beat you up. Who gives a shit? Why don't you man up, you pussy?" And like all this shit.
Damn.
Like, Jesus.
And she threw like a phone at him or something. Like a big fucking rotary phone at him. Oh man, that's not
Threw
fun.
like an Alexander Graham Bell, like the one that you like hold to your ear phone.
Yeah, like the one you have to pick up and just say, "Operator, give me the other number." That's the one other number.
Then she
That's
threw like a whole like console of like those fucking things where you connect to people.
like a whole
Like, she threw, like, a whole
switchboard.
fucking...
Jesus.
Just becomes a bigger and bigger story as it goes on.
Well, in other news, Walt Disney World and Disneyland is projected to not do so well in the next coming months. And actually, they could be losing millions, possibly billions of dollars just due to the closure of their parks. They have 6 parks worldwide, and if those were closed for a month, it would cost them $1.4 billion. And I don't know if that means it costs them that much out of pocket, or they're losing out on that revenue due to like people not coming in. I'm not sure. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for 6 parks to not to be open. So it's actually probably a good time.
In the same sense, there's also people that like can't eat.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I understand that. But if you're into the stock market, now's a good time to buy Disney.
Yeah.
I actually purchased them a couple days ago, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't do it like today when it's like even cheaper.
Even lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like under $100 per share of stock right now. And I bought one for like $100 or something like that. So I can't wait for that to skyrocket up and I can retire at 35.
I almost kind of want to go on like a stock buying craze, like a week before all this, but like a week before like May, just in case things start opening up, and then it's just like skyrocketing.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be like a vulture like that, but I'm doing it anyway.
Who gives a shit, dude? How do you think more than half those people are rich because they're fucking vultures?
Yeah, I know. But I have stock in Disney and American Airlines right now. So when both travel starts going up, then hopefully I make it out big. You know what's weird though? Like watching the stock market stuff, like the streaming networks like Netflix and stuff, isn't doing super hot. Like it's still like it's doing better than most things, but it's always dipping every day. It's weird. But if you want one share of Netflix, it's $365.
Jesus.
I know, right? But you can get a share of Twitter for $23. So look at that. How about that?
There you go.
A little stock news for you.
Get in on the tweet.
I know
tweet train.
Yeah, I know nothing about stocks, so I'm giving terrible information. But I'm up like $30, so what do I know, right? Anyway, speaking of Netflix, if you're looking for certain titles to drop on there, you should be looking very soon. I guess not soon enough for this one, because I wanted to see this one sooner than later. But Uncut Gems is going to be headed to Netflix around the end of May. So if you're still off in quarantine by then, check it out. Uncut Gems going to Netflix. I've yet to see that.
I started watching it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'll probably bring that up next week.
Ooh, okay. Speaking of things going to streaming early, have you done any of that stuff yet? Like the stuff that's just got out of theaters, or is just foregoing theaters altogether and just going on to streaming?
Not really. Because it's like, they're still pretty expensive, and there's so much stuff you can watch that's not that.
Yeah, same. It's tempting, because every time I like log into Prime, you can see all those things, and I'm like, they're still like $20. Yeah. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But you
like,
get
I can wait a couple months for it to be like $4 to rent, as opposed to $20.
Yeah, for sure. But I think you get to own them. Like, it's just a full-out purchase. Like, it's not just a one-time watch.
Well, no, because I was looking through them, and I think the only one that you could own was Onward. Everything else was rent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I'm only basing that off Onward because my brother said that he bought it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I just assumed that the rest of them were like that. But why wouldn't,
yeah, it was
why
weird.
wouldn't you?
Onward's like the only one that you can buy. Everything else was
so,
like rent for $20.
That's so bizarre. Why?
I don't know if Disney's just like, well, it's gonna be on Prime in like a couple months anyway, so let's see how many suckers we can get to buy it.
That's so bizarre to me. Like, how much money is it really for all these other things? Are they really gonna make if you just buy it forever? Like, are they gonna buy it again for $20? I don't think so.
It's that good.
Yeah, right.
Like, God damn it, I need to watch The Hunt for 4 days instead of 2.
Yeah. You're really going to buy Bloodshot again? Get out of here. Even though I still might pull the trigger and buy it to watch it. I'm not sure yet. Haven't done it.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be the same if I watched it again because I need those people that are annoying as fuck to be laughing around me the whole time. It won't be the same experience.
Yeah. That's too bad. You'll never witness the same kind of theater experience again watching Bloodshot. I mean, I can invite a bunch of shitheads over and we can just yuck it up. We can do a viewing party.
Oh, please.
Last bit of news I got, JT. So ready up your phone. I've already posted this onto our Twitter account, but somebody out there has done the God's work and has made Cats the Butthole trailer. It's the butthole cut of Cats, and there's a trailer out there right now. I've already posted on the Revue Twitter. You need to check it out because it is distracting and hilarious.
Oh my god.
It is so funny. Just these little fucking pink assholes on all of the cats. All they did was like take the trailer and just superimpose these little pink buttholes on everybody. It's the funniest thing in the world.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So yeah.
Now they just need to make another cut where it's slightly opening and plopping out of shit every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. In some shots, they even put like 8 nipples on them. It's so stupid, but I was busting a gut watching that right before this.
Oh,
and Chelsea looked over and it's like, "What are you laughing about?" And I went to explain it, and all she did was scoff and shake her head. But
oh my god,
it made this whole experience of being quarantined worth it. It really did.
Yeah. Thank you, pandemic, for creating the butthole cut of the cat trailer.
I am loving the creativity of people being locked up at home and just like desperate for something and just seeing how creative they're getting with just like memes alone. It is amazing.
It's like an internet renaissance of people being bored as fuck at their house.
It really is. It really is. But anyway, that's all my news.
All right. Well, Troy, you a fan of SVU?
Not really. No. I don't care about any of that.
Okay. Well, Christopher Maloney, as you know from SVU.
Of course, I know.
His character, Elliot Stabler, is supposed to be coming back for a new NBC drama series where he heads up his own, task force.
Mm-hmm.
So they're bringing back Elliot Stabler.
Very good. Very good. I'm sure many people will be glad to hear it. Not me, of course, but some people will be.
And of course, Troy, there's more movies being pushed back to 2021.
Oh
If you
yeah.
didn't see already, with the inclusion of Peter Rabbit 2,
Oh,
Uncharted, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Troy, probably the hardest one to hear that got pushed back, Morbius.
Oh, fuck.
I know.
You know, I keep forgetting about that movie until somebody brings it up. So I am hopefully by 2021 going to completely forget about this movie, and so will the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That
Oh, what's it? Is that a thing? Oh, cool. Morbius, cool.
just put that out on streaming now, however far it is into production. Just put it out right now.
Just do it. No one's gonna give a shit.
No
Put it
need
on.
for
Put it for free on YouTube.
yeah, for sure. No more post-production on it. Don't do anything else. Just put it out right now. That would be amazing.
You could put it out for free right now. So instead of it being like something that people dread, it can be like a sign of good faith for everyone going through these struggles. Be like, we gave you Morbius. Like, oh wow. Maybe there are good people over at Sony.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, that'd be a bomb thing to do. Like, put it out right now. Be like, we're just gonna keep putting it out, and you get to see the even if, you know what, that'd be cool as hell. Put it out right now to see where they're at, and then keep putting it out in like steps. Be like, here's another cut, until they get to a final cut, and they just keep editing it until it comes out for real, and then by then nobody cares, and then just tanks.
Yep.
Because then
they just keep putting out scenes.
That's all that people want to see.
Morbius.
Nobody wants to pay for it. Just put it out free. Just come on, for real. What are you doing, Sony?
Yeah.
What are you doing with your lives?
Come on. Head out of your ass, Sony. Just put it out for free. Who gives a shit?
Nobody does. Everyone's too worried about trying to make a great sourdough loaf on their time off. Nobody cares about Morbius and your fucking 2021 release. Everyone's trying to just get by, learning how to do homestead.
Everyone's at home just sitting in empty rooms just waiting for Morbius, being like, it's coming out still, right? And then reality hit. Like, man, Corona.
Yeah, I know.
Corona took another one. Morbius.
Shit.
So there you go. Look forward to that next year now.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Edgar Wright. He's got some things coming up. I know he's supposed to have a movie coming out this year called Last Night in Soho.
Mm-hmm.
But now his next project that he's working on is going to be a robot love story called Set My Heart to 5.
According to Wikipedia.
Set My Heart to 5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there you go. So
I'm excited.
I like the... Go for it.
Oh, I'm just saying I'm excited for another Edgar Wright property. I don't really care what it is.
Yeah.
I have
I haven't heard too much about
yet, though.
Last Night in Soho, but I heard it's supposed to be maybe like a murder mystery, maybe.
Okay. Right on. I'm into it. If it's got an Edgar Wright flair, I'm into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the only thing I haven't seen from him is like Baby Driver. Otherwise, I've seen all of his stuff, and I pretty much enjoy all of it. So bring it on. Whatever you got, give it to me.
Give us more Edgar.
That's right. He actually, he had a post funny today because a lot of people had like March 1st, April 1st, like posts on Twitter today of what they looked like a month ago and what they look like now. He had one where like it was him and his like headshot or whatever, and then April 1st was him zombified from Shaun of the Dead. But there's a ton of that shit going on early this morning, and I was loving all of it.
Oh no, there were so many of them. Yeah, a lot of them was like beginning of horror movie, end of horror movie, like pictures back to back. So, Troy, you like that Mad Max Fury Road?
I do. I think it's a good movie. Yes.
Well, got some good news for you, Troy,
All
because
right.
apparently there's going to be a Furiosa spin-off film called Mad Max Furiosa,
Uh-huh.
and apparently the actress that's going to be playing Furiosa is Anna Taylor-Joy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's set to be possibly filming either late this year or early next year.
All right. From New Mutants fame,
And,
Anna
from what
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, from New Mutants fame. Yeah, everyone knows her from the unreleased New Mutants.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah, it sounds good. I know they wanted to do this for quite a while because it was like rumored like Furiosa would have her own sequel or spin-off like after Fury Road came out. So I'm surprised
Yeah.
it's actually taken this long to do anything. But I would like it if it's under like the same kind of like writer director combo. I mean, not that like anybody else would take it and do anything. I don't know any. I don't know what I was gonna finish my sentence there because I was gonna say like any worse, but obviously it could be very worse. But I would hope like the same kind of creators would like stick along with like the journey of that character so they don't like muddle it up because like they talked about a little of this on like the Weekly Planet and they were saying like why just can't like Charlize Theron come back and just do the prequel. She doesn't look that old. And then they were also saying like they said one thing that kind of got me down on the thought of the prequels, like so we get to figure out how she loses her arm. And I'm like, oh fuck, I don't care. if that's the case, then that's like the one thing that put like a stink on it. But like otherwise, like yeah, I'd be into it. Like I don't need to see like a super complicated plot or anything because not like Mad Max was, but it would be fun to see. So I don't know. What are your
They give her like
what are
a
your real
Han
thoughts?
Solo.
Yeah.
They give her like a Han Solo moment where it's like, "Gosh, you're so furious."
Yeah. And then
Hey, what's your name, furious girl?
Furiosa.
And then she winks into the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But no, I'm all for it. I was a huge fan of Mad Max Fury Road,
Yeah.
and I'd love to see what they could do more with this world. And I think I read that George Miller's also supposed to direct it if he's still alive.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I liked Fury Road. It wasn't like my favorite movie of the year, I don't think, but I did enjoy it quite a bit for like just the spectacle of it alone.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's good stuff.
I'm into it. If it looks good, I'll see it.
Troy,
What?
Mandalorian season 2 is just packing full of stars.
Oh my
I think
god.
we already brought up. I think I brought up last week that Rosario Dawson is set to come on
Yes.
as a well-known Star Wars character,
Yes.
and now they just landed the mother load for season 2. Troy,
Oh shit.
Michael Bean,
Oh my god, the beans.
the Bean Man, is going to be in season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Very good. I'm into it.
What year?
Oh my god. My favorite quote of Michael Bean. What year? Yeah, that sounds cool as hell. I like seeing him and stuff. I don't what has he done besides like Terminator 2? Or no, he would have been in Terminator 1 and
Terminator and Aliens.
What else has he done besides that? Like made for TV movies?
I don't know. I'm sure he was like in a lot of 80s movies, but I can't think of ones off the top of my head right now.
Well, If he,
But I think I've like watched movies where he's like secondary on there, and every time he pops up, I'm like, fuck yeah, Michael Biehn.
oh yeah, same. I'm the same way. Because I feel like he was in something semi recently that I've seen, and I was like, oh hell yeah, that's Michael Biehn. What year?
Michael Bihn's in this? What year was this made?
I'm pulling up his filmography right now.
Oh man, give us the bean count.
Here's the bean counter right here. Man, he's been in a whole lot of shit. Holy cow. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm still scrolling and going, and I'm only in like 2000. My God.
Jesus.
He was in The Legend of Butch and Sundance on TV. No, that's not it. He was in Planet Terror as Sheriff Haig.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what I was remembering him from. Unless he was in something else.
Yeah, because he's the brother of the guy that does the barbecue recipe, and he's always trying to get it from him.
Yeah. And did you see Sushi Girl? Because he's in that.
Yeah, I did see it, but it was a long time ago.
All these other things that he's been in looks like made for friggin' straight to DVD type shit. Because I have no idea what any of these are, and I'm up to like 2019. And now I'm into future projects, which is The Mandalorian, 1 episode in 2020.
Wow.
You must have had like some fucking rehab or some problem with drugs or some shit to like knock him down from like Terminator, Aliens, and then like some double fucking dragon knockoff movie. I don't know. Anyway. Michael Biehn talk.
Now I want to go back and watch Planet Terror to see his part, because I fucking love him in Planet Terror.
Oh, yeah. What else you got on that news list?
Yeah, my last bit of news, Troy. The Eternals. If it's still a thing.
Yes.
Apparently it's drumming up some controversy.
Oh, shit. Not
drumming up some controversy.
Not in this climate.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Come on, guys. We gotta come together. But the 1 million moms is apparently boycotting the Eternals over the fact that, brace yourself, Troy, because it's pretty controversial. There's going to be a same-sex kiss in the Eternals.
Boo. Boo! What, moms don't like gays? Is that what it is?
Think about the children.
God. I freaking hate these fucking Christian groups. Get the fuck out of here. Who gives a shit? Can't you, like, pick on something else, like white supremacists or anything else? You have to, like, go after freaking gay kissing? What is it gonna do to you?
Yeah. They never speak out against groups that burn crosses. Don't you love crosses? But no, two people of the same sex are kissing. Oh fuck!
End of the world. It's the end of civilization as we know it. Because obviously, some dudes kissed and then created the coronavirus. That's what happened, right? Maybe.
No, don't even say that, because that's going to be on Fox News like tonight. It's good. Fucking Tucker Carlson's going to be on there and like, I was said on a radio podcast that men kissing did this.
Yeah, I rescind all comments. Tweets are my own. All that shit I gotta talk about now. Yeah, that shit drives me insane. And even like in Rise of Skywalker, where they had that split second like lesbian kiss at the end, and like they were like news
Yeah.
headlines about it, and it like amounted to nothing. And I'm like, what is this? This wasn't even news like 15 years ago. Like, get the hell out of here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've never seen like a group of people be so like uneasy about something that they're just not a part of. Like, oh God, please, they have the same genitals and they're kissing.
It's not like they're
Who gives
watching
a
like
shit?
they accidentally watch like gay porn or something like that. It's like
Yeah,
it's who cares? My God, get over yourself.
like they'd rather have their kids watching full hardcore penetration sex than two people of the same sex kissing.
Why don't you just keep on not vaccinating your kids and shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, I'm off my high horse. Now I'm done.
No. But yeah, that's all my news, Troy.
Very good. I didn't get any trailers, obviously, today because the world is stopped.
I got like a couple.
What even?
There's one that I have no interest in, and there's one that's fun.
Okay, what's the one you have no interest in?
It's like a Netflix movie called Outer Banks,
Okay,
and it looks like a teen treasure hunt type thing. It's like the Goonies for Generation Z if it was more sexually charged.
all right. Not interested as well. Just
Yeah.
by that description.
So
Not interested.
look out for that on April 15th.
Oh, right around the corner.
Yeah. But they put out a trailer for the other 5 episodes of Rick and Morty, which is coming out in the middle of May, I believe.
Oh, save us all. Come on.
Yes, please. If anyone can defeat the COVID, it's Rick and Morty.
For sure.
But no, it looks fun. They're like everything in it makes absolutely no sense, which like every Rick and Morty episode kind of does in its own way. But have you watched any of the current season?
No, I haven't.
Hey.
I haven't seen any.
I have them but I have them on Amazon. But no, there's some pretty good ones. There's one where Morty wants a dragon, so Rick conjures one up for him,
Mhm.
but it doesn't tell him that dragons are like very sexually active, so they're always trying to like get orgies started and stuff. So he's like trying to fuck and stuff. I don't know. It's good. It's like an actual dragon, but it's like
trying
just
to
always
fuck.
about like having sex.
Perfect. I'm into it.
So there goes. The other episodes of Rick and Morty coming up in May, so look out for that shit.
Good deal.
And I think that'll lead us into the Tournament of Random Movies, Troy.
Yes.
Tournament of Random Movies 9, which it was House of Wax versus Radio,
Yes.
and we dodged a bullet there, Troy, because we almost had to institute the 69 rule.
I saw that because I think Sam took a snapshot of it and sent it over, and I'm like, holy shit. So I'm gonna breaking news here. I'm the one who dodged that 69% to 71%. I'm the one who voted to change it because I have yet to vote for it. I was like, no way. Like, I did still vote for House of Wax, but I voted because I didn't want to watch Radio more. I don't know how that was even possible, but I didn't want it. I didn't want it to win right away because I want the 69 rule to stand. And that but
Yes.
I don't want it to fucking win the first time we come up with that rule, and it be House of
Yeah.
Wax, and then I'm just pissed.
Very next show, we have to institute it right away.
That was uncanny. And then the other poll we had for the movie that we're doing Monday, or no, I'm sorry, for today.
Today.
It almost got 69% too, and I'm like, holy shit, what is with our polls and just hitting that magic number? Maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah, we're just summoning 69s.
So yeah, I'm the one who broke the 69 streak. Even though I love to see it, I couldn't let it happen on this one. Sorry. It needs to move on and possibly get eliminated later.
But yeah, even everyone is now starting the it's Hiltoning.
Yes, I know.
So you've conjured a monster, Troy.
I didn't. Why is it my hatred towards something does this? Why is it? That's not fair.
Because you're so passionate.
Is it my passion? Is it? Is that what it is? Anyway.
But yeah, House of Wax does move on, beating out Radio, and it joins the likes of Tropic Thunder, Whiplash, Saw, Twilight, and Brewster's Millions. And there's now 2 more matches left in this first round before we move on to the quarterfinals.
Yes.
And our matchup for this week features a film from 2014, which is made by a director we just talked about not too long ago, and a film from 1987 that takes place on a holiday that not a lot of movies are made about.
Okay.
So the film from 2014, I'll look up the tagline. Do you have any ideas, Troy?
Was it a director we talked about tonight or like a few weeks ago?
It wasn't that long ago.
I
that
don't.
we talked about this director.
I don't know.
A movie that this director made.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I got nothing on that run. Nope, nothing. No idea.
I don't know if I can find. I don't even think it has a tagline. What the shit?
It's too recent. Movies don't have taglines anymore, bruh.
What in the fuck? Well, I'll give you another hint. It's
right.
Wes Anderson.
Okay. Is it? That's from 2014. Is it
2014?
The hotel movie? Why can't I think of it?
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
It is that.
Okay, good. I couldn't think of the frickin' name. I kept thinking Darjeeling Unlimited. That wasn't it.
No, it is the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay. Good. Then I was
now in the tournament, and
it's going up against a movie from 1987 that has an unusual
1987
holiday.
that takes place during a holiday that not a lot of movies are made about.
Okay.
Do you have any guesses?
Around a holiday, I wouldn't. Can I guess the holiday to narrow it down?
Sure.
Do you know what the holiday is, and you're not just fucking with me?
I do know what the holiday is. Yes.
Is it Easter?
No.
Is it Yom Kippur?
No.
No, I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay, the tagline, it has the actors in it, but fuck it, I'll just say it. Steve Martin has no reason to panic until John Candy came along.
Oh, is it Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
It is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Troy.
Very good. Very good. What holiday is that set in?
Thanksgiving.
Oh, I thought I've only seen that movie once, and I thought it was around Christmas.
No, it's around Christmas, but it's Thanksgiving. He's
Well,
just
I
trying to get
know
home for
Thanksgiving is around Christmas. But yeah, okay. Good
Troy,
deal.
if there's one thing we can pull out of the show, it's that Thanksgiving is around Christmas.
If anything could be solidified, it's that Thanksgiving is pretty much around Christmas. I mean, it's like Christmas Part 1. We all know that.
So
Okay.
there you go, Troy. The
Good deal.
Grand Budapest Hotel versus Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Do you have a favorite in this one?
I think I do. And I think pretty much listeners will know if they've listened long enough my feelings on Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
But I would say I haven't seen all of the Grand Budapest Hotel, but what I did enjoy more than any other Wes Anderson movie that I've seen. And I did enjoy Planes, Trains, and Automobiles quite a bit. So is it going to be a thing where I want to go back and finish the Grand Budapest or revisit Planes, Trains, Automobiles? I might flip a coin on the day. But I think right now I am leaning towards one. And I'm just going to keep it to myself because people can guess. Are you leaning towards any?
Grand Budapest? I don't know. I think I might be leaning towards Grand Budapest because I haven't seen that one in a long time. I saw Planes, Trains, Automobiles not that long ago. Enjoyable, but I don't know. I want an excuse to revisit Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay. Yeah, I think the first time I've seen Planes, Trains, it was like maybe a year ago, maybe 2. That was the first time I've ever seen it. And like I always knew about it and people always would talk about it, but it was never one that was in like my house to like watch. Like I don't even know if my parents owned it or not, but like I watched it and I thought it was pretty good. And I was like, oh, I get why people like this.
Oh, okay. I can see why people like this movie that I like.
Every time I say something, I'm just like, what the fuck am I talking about? It's like every sentence. I'm like, what the fuck am I even saying? All right, sweet deal. Well, with the tournament over, you know it's time to do a deep dive into the main event of the evening.
It's the top of the hour, Troy.
That's right. It damn well is. And it's time to get in to the big murder mystery in a movie called Clue. Coming to theaters 1985 on my birthday, December 13th.
Oh, shit.
I know, exactly a year before I was born. Had a budget of $15 million. Domestically, made just shy of that, $14.6 million. Worldwide, it was not released, so that's the max it made. It didn't even make its money back. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 62%. IMDb has it at a 7.3 out of 10. Metacritic, very surprising, 36%. And
whoa,
yeah, I know. Shameless Pile of Stuff gives it a very good. I need to start going back to see what his rating system is because it's just like very good. I want to see what like other things are. If there's something that is different for every single movie, that'd be amazing. So I got to remember Shameless Pile of Stuff. So this movie was based on the first movie based on a board game to go into the annals of time with Battleship and maybe Jumanji, only adjacently.
I was going to say, I don't think there was a Jumanji board game before Jumanji.
No, I don't think so either. But I looked up before this, like, movies based on a board game. And it was like Battleship, Jumanji, and Zathura, which is a weird kind of semi-sequel to Jumanji, which I'm like, both of these aren't real games. They're just haunted games that people get fucked up by. So JT, what is Clue all about?
Well, we head into a house called Hill House, which, I mean, it's taken a lot, but regardless, where we follow, was it 6 people?
Yes.
I think it's 6. 6 people who are summoned to this house, who have no idea why they're there, all operating under aliases such as Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, Mr. Green, Miss White, Miss Scarlet, and Miss Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
And they are all set to figure out why they're there when a mysterious person by the name of Mr. Body ends up dead. And now they must all come together along with the butler. What was his name? Witsworth or something?
Yeah. Yep.
They all must come together to find out which of them is the murderer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. This obviously, as I said before, is based on the board game, and it is surprisingly very faithful to the board game. Like, if there's any adaptation of something as obscure as a board game, like, this movie, like, went for everything. Because, like, the players in the movie, like, arrive in cars the same color as their tokens from the board game.
Oh, yeah.
The house is actually laid out exactly like how the board looks like. There's a few rooms added in the movie to, like, fill out this whole mansion or whatever. But, like, around the parlor is the rooms in, like, in order of how they are in the board game. Like, all of the weapons are similar to the game, well, only like little modifications because it was like set in the 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
There was something else that was super faithful to it as well. But even like lines, I think Tim Curry actually spouts off like parts of the rules of the game, like in some of his dialogue. It's like find out who did it, where they did it, and with what, or whatever it was. So, like, they really took this game and, like, went with it and went, like, shot for the moon. And I actually really appreciated that aspect because Clue was never one of the games I usually played as a kid. The only time I remember playing it was at your house with your mom. And she whooped our asses in it. And set me off on, like, something where I just fucking hate Clue because I guess I'm too dumb to get it or something. That's, like... So I've always resented your mom for whooping my ass at Clue one time because now I can never enjoy the game.
I love that you remember that because I don't remember that at all. So you have your whole back here holding this resentment against my mom about her beating your ass in Clue. I don't even remember it at all.
I can tell you very vividly. We were in your house that I would visit like you all the time, like the one before your mom and dad are in now, and we were in. Not the room, like your living room with the TV, but the one that had like your computer in it. And we were on the floor. We were playing it. I don't remember like what cards I had or whatever, but I felt like I was doing a really good job, like eliminating like clues here so I could figure out who did it. And your mom like just slapped down her freaking cards and be like, it was Colonel Mustard in the parlor with the rope or whatever it was. And I'm just like, how the fuck? That's not cool. Like, she beat the game in 20 minutes or whatever, and I was like really disappointed with myself that I couldn't do it, and I was real mad, and I never got over it. Obviously, I'm still holding deep resentment towards your mom. To one day I can just freaking challenge her to a rematch, and then I'll beat her, and then she'll probably die or some shit, and I'll be like, oh no, I did this.
No! I did this. I did this.
Anyway, I don't wish any ill will to your mother. She's a peach.
Oh yes, she's a wonderful woman.
There was actually, when I was doing IMDb trivia on this, there was one that I thought was so funny that I had to screenshot, and I want to read it right now. It was about one of the weapons, because there's other ones too, like the gun in the movie is different from the gun in the game only because they updated it from to be set in the 50s. But there's one in here that the quote lead pipe isn't made out of lead, it's steel coated with zinc. A lead pipe is so soft it can barely hold its own shape and cannot be threaded as seen in this movie. However, since this is a fictional movie based on a board game, it doesn't matter. When I read that last sentence, I literally laughed out loud that he goes on this whole tangent, because it has to be a guy writing this, right? That he goes on this whole tangent of like, it can't be a lead pipe because of blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Because this is made up, none of this matters, and why did I waste my time?
I just realized halfway through writing this that this doesn't matter.
Which also like corresponds to earlier when I said like, what am I even saying? I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. That's exactly, I am that man who wrote the lead pipe comment. Also, this is the first time I've ever seen this movie all the way through, and I was actually shocked to see how horny this movie was, because it was so horny that I actually had to like tweet about it. I'm like, has anyone else seen this movie? This movie is the horniest movie I've ever seen. Like, this is the French maid with the huge tits, and like everyone's grabbing asses and just like have sexual innuendos all the time.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd being like low-key Bill Cosby throughout it.
Oh my god, for real. Like, he just meets this woman on the side of the road and he's already like grabbing her ass up the way to the door. You kidding?
Yeah.
It's like, my goodness. Yeah, I wouldn't even say this movie's low-key horny. It's just horny. It's a like, I don't want to go on like a huge Jason Mantzoukas thing here, but you could have jerked off to this movie. But that being said, like, I thought this movie was also very funny. Like, I thought the comedy in this was super well done.
Oh yeah, this movie reminds me so much of like the way me and Molly met. We were part of a community theater troupe in a town close to us, and they would always do melodramas. And I think melodramas are laid out this exact same way, where all the comedy in it is just kind of like innuendo or tongue-in-cheek type statements that like always have like double meanings, and this movie is chock full of all that shit.
Yeah. For like, even at moments of it, it's just like rapid fire, like one-liner jokes. And I really, really liked it. Because, I mean, for a premise that this movie is based on like kind of like a hokey board game, and it doesn't really take a huge amount of even liberties with the property. It just, so it like has all of these like things that it's setting itself in, like in concrete, but then like all of the dialogue, they can pretty much do anything with, because like the characters are blank slates, really. You can do anything with them.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they made them like pseudonyms instead of like that's their actual name and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really enjoyed all of the actors chosen for these roles too. I was stoked to see Martin Mull in this. You know what I mean? I love
you don't see
seeing
Martin
him
Mull that much anymore.
I know. Maybe he did
Or, like,
something
even,
terrible.
Like
but,
I think he was mostly TV, but yeah, like in this, yeah, it was fun to see him. And I love Michael McKean. I don't see Michael McKean in a lot of stuff either.
oh yeah, he was really good too. Like everybody was good in this. Like Christopher Lloyd was good. Tim Curry obviously was great as Wadsworth. Madeline Kahn as Mrs. White was great. The only actor that I really haven't seen in anything was Mrs. Peacock, Eileen Brennan.
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was. I don't think I've seen her in a bunch of stuff, but I've seen Leslie Ann Warren, Miss Scarlet, in a few things. And then Yvette, I've never seen anything either, but everybody was great. Everybody played their part like exactly how they needed to, and it was It was great. Like, I don't think I'm spoiling anything right now saying, like, obviously everybody could tell that I had a good time watching this movie.
Yeah. This was the first time I for the longest time I always thought that Miss Scarlet was Susan Sarandon. This is the first time I was like, oh shit, she's not.
Yeah,
She looks so much like Susan Sarandon.
Oh, for sure. I actually did think it was that until I was done watching the movie and was going through like IMDb stuff just to get stuff to talk about. And I was like, oh shit, it's not Susan Sarandon.
She looks so much like her in this.
Yeah, very much so. Like, freakishly. So.
Yeah. Like, I even was like looking up GIFs to like post about this for when I was doing the poll, and I was like, oh yeah, Susan Sarandon's in this. I forgot about that. I get it. No, it's not Susan Sarandon.
But yeah, I even like that as like a funny in joke that the guy murdered is just a body, Mr. Body.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
That was really good. And obviously they could play with the whole murder mystery aspect, so they could do a whole bunch of funny shit. What I was actually gonna say earlier that like they took like the game like verbatim how they were. Like even secret passageways that are in the game are the secret passageways that are in this movie as well. So like it's almost all in there. All aspects of the game are in this movie. If you're into the game. Oh
yeah.
So it's pretty great.
Yeah. No, I was even the evidence envelopes in this too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the evidence envelope, like where you put the suspect, the weapon and the room. You put it in an envelope called the evidence envelope and put it in the middle. And they even have an evidence envelope in this that gets burned in the fireplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like they have every aspect of the game in this.
Yeah. And there's actually not like a whole lot that even transpires in this movie either, because like I was watching it and it's, I don't know, it's like an hour and a half long or something like that. But when it got to the end, I'm like, holy cow, like I had to, like I was watching on my tablet and then I like just to check to see how much time was left. And there was like 15-20 minutes left. I'm like, holy shit, how long are the credits? And then I realized that like they showed like all the 3 endings. If there's one thing I did know about this movie is that it shot multiple endings, and in its theatrical run it just kind of like randomized by region what ending they would get. But then when it came to home release, they had like just all of them on there for you. And
yeah, they put all 3 of them on there.
So then I was like, oh, the last like 20 minutes are just going to be kind of like a cop out adding and padding onto the movie by like just putting 2 extra endings at the end, which were all fun. Like I can't even remember like another movie that's done this ever. Like I know they've had alternate endings that they just scrap for like a theatrical ending, but they never had like 3 separate endings for a movie that just went out and did that. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know like how that would fly with anything else really. But
yeah, I don't know either. And it almost kind of made me want to go back and rewatch it to see like if all of the facts match up for all 3 endings.
Yeah, like at the end it's all like rapid fire and I couldn't even follow what they were talking about. Oh, yeah. But I was like,
yeah, well, like Tim Curry's pretty much retelling the entire movie by running from room to room.
That was pretty good. I was reading up too, like apparently there was going to be a 4th ending that they just scrapped in general. Did you read anything about this?
No.
There was going to be a 4th ending where Tim Curry's character was going to be the murderer, and he killed everybody by actually poisoning the brandy. And I don't know. I don't know if it meant like everybody died or just the people in the movie who died. But he was going to end up walking out, and then he was going to get killed by dogs outside. And
that'd be awesome.
The filmmakers thought that was
full circle.
Yeah, exactly. The filmmakers thought that was a little too bleak to have everybody die in this. So they just didn't include it at all. But I was reading it, I'm like, holy
So
shit.
it was too bleak to kill everyone, but it wasn't too bleak to make everyone a murderer.
Right. Yeah. I did like that on the third ending or whatever, where just like everyone is a murderer.
Yeah, I think that my favorite one's the third ending, just based on like, and they even end it with them like actually like how the game ends, where they're like, "How'd this happen?" And then Mr. Green's like, "I'll tell you how it happened. I killed Mr. Body in the hall with the revolver or whatever."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Now, if you excuse me, I want to go home and make love to my wife."
Yeah. Yes. I laughed actually pretty hard at that. I was like, what a weird stinger to put at the end of this. Turns out he wasn't gay all along. He was gonna go bang a woman.
Dude, there is some really fun lines in this though. Like, I think even in particular, one of my favorite ones involves Mr. Green, where Yvette talks about going into like a dark room by herself, and then asks all the men who wants to go with her, and then like Mustard and Plum are like, I will, and then Mr. Green's like, no thanks.
Yeah. There was a ton of great quotes in this. I'm gonna go to the quotes right now on IMDb, because like there were some that were cracking me up, but they were so rapid fire that I just like couldn't even keep up.
There's even like ones where like they were weird, but like they went on for so long that I was like sort of laughing. Like there's like a line Mrs. White has where like she gets caught for being the murderer. Like I think it's like in the third ending, she gets caught for being one of the murderers, and then she's just like, it's just a flame, like a fire on the side of my head. It's just burning, and she just keeps going on and on for so long that I just started losing my shit.
That was like a quote that I just screened, or I just went past, and that was like the one thing that was ad-libbed in the movie, was just that.
She goes on for so long. She's just, it's like a fire, like a burning, but it's like a flame, and it's just here. It's just right on the side of my head, right here. It's like, is this gonna stop anytime soon?
Like I liked at one part of the movie where like everybody just keeps dying. Like Mr. Body dies, Yvette dies, the cook is dead. And they are just like so used to seeing dead bodies now that they're just going into the room like, and they'll just like walk out and close the door.
Yeah, there's that one where like Yvette's dead, and they all just kind of like look over their shoulder and just see you're dead, and they just close the door.
Like this one where Colonel Mustard runs into the room. He's like, just checking. Mrs. Peacock goes, is everything all right? Colonel Mustard goes, yep, 2 corpses, everything's fine. Or the one,
like one where like, I don't like, a lot of the physical comedy in this is fun too. Like there's a part where like Professor Plum's trying to look like comfortable, whatever, and he just like puts his hand on like the dead cook's ass.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
or the fact when that cop shows up and they try to like incorporate the dead bodies, and like one of them's making out with two, like they're making out with 2 of them, the other one's just like pretending to be passed out drunk or whatever. It's like, oh my god, they're really going for it.
Oh, I was losing my shit when the God, what is it? One of them is I think it's like Plum, or no, not Plum, but I think it's like one of them's like making out with like the dead cook.
Yeah.
And then like he actually reaches up and holds her eyes open with his hands while he's making out with her. It looks so, it's so ridiculous.
And I really like the exchanges too between like Wadsworth and a bunch of the other people, like the one where Colonel Mustard's like, am I right thinking there's nobody else in this house? And he's like, no. And he keeps getting confused with like, so there isn't somebody in this house or there is somebody in this house? And that exchange goes on for like a minute. And then at the end where they're like arguing over the math on how many bullets are left in the gun.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, oh my God.
1 2 2 1 2 1. I know there's like so many just like bits like that where they keep it going on for so long that it's like it just gets funnier the more they keep going.
Yeah. That's like I think that was like my favorite parts like of the movie was just like the witty banter back and forth and like the weird kind of, it's like light black humor. I mean, these people are dying, but it's like in very humorous ways or whatever. Like I can't remember like a movie that's made like that like now recently. I don't even know if they could come out in like this, because like maybe like Happy Death Day or something like that, or I don't even know if that one would be so like tongue in cheek though. What's the sequel to that one?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that? Like Happy
Happy Death Day to You. Yeah, it's definitely, it takes a more different approach than the first one does. But they're both pretty good.
But like it's like I think that just the charm of like the movies that are set in the 80s, because I think I think John Hughes helped write the script for this. And so
oh yeah.
I want to say so. Oh, I mean John Landis. I'm sorry. John Landis did.
Oh, yeah.
So I can kind of see like his like fingerprints on it a little bit just by like the witty wisecracks and stuff like that, but yeah, I liked a ton of this movie. I don't even know if I really have any criticism of it that I could think of. Like maybe the fact that like they rush over a ton of details trying to put stuff together, but if they slowed that down and people would try to pick it apart, I think too much anyway.
Yeah.
But like I thought this movie was great.
Oh yeah. No, like I said, it totally reminded me of like a melodramatic whodunit like play. Like I'd love to see this like performed on a stage. Like this would totally be an easily done as like a stage play of some sort.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I've done so many plays that are exactly like this, where like the premise is super thin, but it all depends on just like witty banter back and forth, and then just super melodramatic, over the top backstories. Everyone in this movie has a super over the top backstory.
Yes,
like, you have like nuclear physicists, and then like FBI informants, and like,
right.
Everyone has like this crazy backstory when it finally is all comes out at the end. And I was like, every time someone like was explaining their backstory, I was losing my shit, because it was all just the most over the top version of what that could have been.
For sure. I'm looking up now, because I mean this movie technically is a bomb, but has since gotten like a cult following, and I'm trying to see like if there's anything that came out before it that was just gonna be like sweeping it. And not really. Like the Jewel of the Nile came out, but that would have been like maybe like the biggest movie that came out. A Chorus Line, maybe. All those came out before Clue. But the one that came out on the same day is A Room with a View, and I don't even know what the hell that movie is. But The Color Purple came out like a few days after that, and then Out of Africa came out after that. And those are two pretty big movies. So I mean, it could cut this the runway of this movie pretty short. But other than that, like, I don't even know what it would have gone up against.
And this is like December, so there was probably like a lot of like award season-esque type things out around that time. Yeah,
but even like it can't be any much different than what it is like now, really. Because like all those award movies never like do gangbusters at the box office. Not really.
No, not really.
Yeah, so maybe I'm trying to see what came out like late November, maybe. Rocky 4. I don't even know if that one was a good one. Yeah,
But
I don't
yeah, I
know.
think the only real movie that I can kind of compare this to that was very recent is maybe Knives Out. But even then, I don't think they like even Knives Out kind of gets to a certain point in the middle where it's not so much about the cast of characters and it's more about the mystery.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I like the most about this is that they keep the entire cast part of it throughout the entire thing. Where like I don't think there's one specific main character. It's like the main character is this uh just this group of people in general.
Yeah.
And I think they all play off each other really well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everyone has great comedy chops in this. It makes it really a great time. Like you brought up Knives Out. I just wanted to bring that up because I forgot to mention that last week that I actually started watching that on the week I had off, and I am so disappointed in myself that like I completely fell asleep, and because we rented it or whatever, and Chelsea was like, "Do you want to like stay up late and like maybe have a drink and like rent a movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's like rent Knives Out. I haven't seen that. And I really wanted to." I was passed out in like 10 minutes. I was
Oh
so
shit.
pissed off at myself, and then I went to go see if it was still available to watch, but it was like only a 24-hour rental, I think. And I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to
Oh,
rent it again.
it's so fun too.
Yeah. So I'll see if like maybe GHD has it in his Movies Anywhere app or something like that. But yeah, I was kind of pissed off at myself. I didn't get to see that because everyone says it's great.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun.
I don't know. I don't have much else to say about Clue, otherwise just enjoying it quite a bit. Would so if
Yeah.
this came out, I don't know, it came out like today, and you had and you found out that it had like alternate endings and all that kind of stuff, but you couldn't get it in your region, would you be like upset or something like that, or do you still find that like a novel idea?
I think it's a fun idea. I was trying every time they had an ending come up, I was trying to put myself in the in the shoes of someone that just saw that ending and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like I think I wouldn't have been disappointed at the time, but like going back and watching all of them in succession, I just loved that last one so much because it's so over the top with everyone being a murderer
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh, that's such a better ending than the other two.
Yeah. I so because I think it's better watching all three endings. Because I think if it was just like one
Yeah,
of them, it's very abrupt.
yeah,
Like I know, like Tim Curry is explaining the entire movie, like in the last 10 minutes of it, and he's like going from here to there, and then they only really change like the last like 5 minutes of it or so. But otherwise, it's just like you did it, you did all this, blah 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 blah, and then the police show up, end of movie, and it's like whoa, that was very quick when once he started moving there. But yeah, I think it's actually more fun to have all the alternate endings in this
yeah.
viewing. But anyway, what would you throw out as a grade for this movie?
Oh well, like almost like you, I had a lot of fun with it. Like, it totally reminded me of like my old theater days, just because I was in so many plays that was this exact same kind of premise. It's just a very thin premise. It's just mainly an excuse to just give you and a bunch of people around you just these fun lines to throw back and forth at each other. And yeah, and the fact that it stays so true to the board game, it's like who knew that like there's been so many video game movies and none of them like are good, but yet
Yeah.
there's like only a few board game movies and then Clue's like the best out of all of them combined. So yeah, I don't, I'll give it like an A minus. I had a lot of fun with it.
that's the exact same grade that I gave it as well. Like
Well, shit.
this is one that Chelsea's only ever seen bits and pieces of, and she was walking through when I was watching bits of it, and she's like, "So how do you like it so far?" I'm like, I'm liking it quite a bit. This is really fun, and so I think we might. It's free on Amazon right now, so I think we
Yeah.
might go back and maybe watch it again. So if she wants to see it, I think it's funny. I'd like to go back and knowing that the jokes are coming so rapid fire, pay more attention to them. I think.
I know that's almost part of the reason why I want to go back and rewatch it because there's so many like there's some jokes that are laid out so long that you don't even realize it's a joke until like the punchline.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. So like I know Ramundo Chaw out there was waiting with bated breath what we'd have to say about this movie. So like fear not, we both liked it quite a bit. It's a shame that we have to be separated through some disease you probably have, Rita. So I don't want it anywhere in my house.
Yeah. You probably started it. You probably started it when you kissed someone of the same gender.
Yeah. Yeah. She probably ate like something bad and just farted, and now everyone's got fucking COVID-19. But it's too bad you couldn't have joined us because I would have really liked for you to do that. So maybe if we end up reviewing Cats, maybe we can also see if she can remote in. But that'd be a good. I think that'd be a good time to get Shaw back on the pod.
Oh yeah, we need more. We need more Chaw in our lives.
You bet. Yeah. So, is there anything else you've been into this last week, there, JT, in your remote seclusion?
Well, we've been like trying to find stuff that we can watch that we've already seen, but are kind of interested in, but don't have so much interest that we need to pay attention the whole time. So we've gone back and started rewatching Sons of Anarchy because we both saw it.
Yeah.
And we just jumped back into it, and it's so funny to watch a second time. Like I'm sure you have never seen it before, but it's such a male melodrama. It's hilarious. Like our ongoing joke now is that any time that a situation's presented that makes the plot thicken or somebody says something scandalous, there's only one of two reactions. Someone says shit or Jesus Christ. Every time. Like I brought it up as like a joke, but now we're paying attention and that's literally what it is every time. It's never past those two reactions. It's fantastic. So if anyone who's ever seen Sons of Anarchy wants to get back into it, just keep that in mind, that anytime something scandalous happens, the reaction from anyone is always shit or Jesus Christ.
Amazing. So it's just like it'd just be like having The Office on here, so it's just for noise, pretty much.
Yeah. And like we know enough about like the plot that we can like look up and be like, oh yeah, I know what's happening right now.
Sure. It just seems like an odd choice, Sons of Anarchy. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We were trying to find something that like it's because we pretty much burned through all the sitcoms we could find, and we're just trying to find something that's like a little deeper, but also not so deep that we're lost. So we're like, oh, let's throw Sons of Anarchy on.
Right on.
And I think we're already like in the middle of season 3, and we like started it like 3 days ago.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I wish that my children would watch other things. Or they weren't around so I could like get through some sort of like pile of things that I want to watch. But anyway, anything else?
Well, they just brought back Dark Side of the Ring, and I bought the season of that on Amazon because I think it plays on Vice.
Oh yeah,
And
I saw you talking about that
just watched,
earlier on a group chat.
yeah,
I kind of was curious about
yeah.
what that was.
I just watched the Benoit episode, and then this week they had the New Jack one. Holy shit, that New Jack one is so fucked and funny at the same time. Like New Jack is such a New Jack's like the fucking wrestling Joe Exotic.
Oh my god, he I don't know a ton about him, but what little I do is insane.
They actually interview him for that episode, and like they ask him about like, so yeah, what about this incident where you stabbed this guy? And he's like, I stabbed him.
Oh my god!
There's like a because they talk about this incident like in 2004, like he was booked for like this show in Florida where the guy tried to like throw some punches on him. So he pulled like a shank out of his pocket and stabbed him 9 times in the match.
God.
And like his only defense was like, fucking prosecutor tried to get me saying that I stabbed him 18 times. I didn't stab him 18 times. I stabbed him 9 times.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
And like they go through like all of the more scandalous shit that he did, like the mass transit incident where like this kid said that he was 21 but he was actually 17 and had a match with New Jack in ECW, and like he asked New Jack to blade him for himself, and like before that though, like he was like being like super cocky saying he wants to hit all this shit and like not listening to New Jack, so then he was like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of this kid. So he just fucking like he just beats the shit out of him, and then to blade him he takes like a fucking like huge like icicle and then just fucking cuts right across his forehead, and he like bleeds all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen that. That is disgusting. When we started hanging out with like Coach Havens, that was like one of the first things he showed me was like the mass transit incident. I'm like, what the fuck is this? God.
But one of the things that I like the most is that they show a lot of his stuff from Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which I've never seen before. And like he is so fucked in that. Like the reason they booked him is because he's like this. He's just like a very unapologetic black dude, and they fucking book him for Smoky Mountain, which like books mainly like in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And he is just relentless when it comes to just fucking shitting all over like white Southern people. It is amazing. They like show like a clip from a promo he cuts where he says, "Hey, big shout out to my man OJ. You got two down. Thanks, brother." Like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
He's just, oh my god. Like I guess like there was one time where like he said that he got like dental surgery, so he didn't feel like talking. So he just bought like a white baby doll and put a noose around its head and then just held it up in the middle of the ring, and that was his promo.
Jesus Christ. That is insane. I need to watch
so, like,
that.
That was like the most interesting part was like all of his Smoky Mountain shit, 'cause I didn't know anything about that, and he was trying to get people to try and kill him in Smoky Mountain. It was freaking amazing.
Jesus. God. Yeah, that's quite insane.
Yeah. But
you said that you could buy
Dark
that
Side
on
of the Ring
Prime?
is a lot of fun. Like they already have a season 1 out, and they have a lot of cool stories on that. And from what I've heard, their season 2 is like they go even more in depth in their episodes. So and I can tell because they do a really good job. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
All right, cool. Is that it?
And that's what we've been into. That's all I've been into.
Well, I've been trying to break the monotony of Frozen and Frozen 2, so I actually have been suggesting other things on the Disney Plus app that Macy could watch, and so she has been suggesting to watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarves after I've shown her, and that movie sucks. I would rather watch Frozen 2 twice than watch Snow White. Like, I don't know. That movie is so hard to get back into and enjoy. I remember watching it a lot when I was a kid at my grandma's house. And I love the dwarves and everything, but like, oh, there's not enough of them in it. I need there to be more. It's a lot about Snow White, and she sucks. And so after that was done today, we went into Pinocchio, which I also haven't seen in a long time. But I was also kind of watching Clue at the same time. Like, I just put it on for Macy, and I was watching Clue in the other room. But
Yeah.
I would probably watch Pinocchio again. There's some parts of it I don't remember, so I'd kind of want to check that out and just see how crazy it is when kids start turning into fucking donkeys and shit. And then obviously I watched what we were going to be talking about for Monday's episode, so that was a good time. We'll get to that more on Monday, but otherwise, I made another batch of kombucha. And because I'm going to be in quarantine for the next while, I'm thinking about making like sourdough bread and a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to make like a live yeast culture and just have it be fermenting in my kitchen for a while, just to try that shit out, just to fucking break up the day. You know what I mean? You got to do something. And so once it starts getting nice outside, I can finally get into some dirt and put like garden stuff in and just do anything.
Oh no, I hear you. My parents have been calling me over for just to do like small errands for them every once in a while, and it's the only time in my life that I've been excited for it. They're like, oh fuck yeah! My dad be like, hey, I'm gonna cut down a tree. You want to pick up a bunch of logs for me? I was like, fuck, hell yeah!
I've never been more excited to haul wood. But yeah, I fucking. It's been just cold enough where I'm just like, I don't want to take my fucking 7-month kid outside. It's just like not worth it to be have him sit in the grass and have him be miserable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of warm enough today, but it still was a little bit chilly. But tomorrow's supposed to be like 60. So I might go outside and do some projects outside while I just plop them on a blanket and bring some toys and puffs outside or something like that. And I can just do anything. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Going outside. That's what I'm going to be looking forward to doing. But other than that,
fantastic.
I got nothing else. So, JT, where could people find you on the internet if they want to make sure you're doing okay?
Well, they can always find me in the observatory or at Bucky Furman on Twitter and Bucky Furman on Instagram and Bucky Furman on Snapchat. Troy. You
can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. Heck, you can maybe find me outside in a couple days. Who knows? You can find both me and JT at Revue Pod on Twitter. While there, vote for the tournament of random movies. This week's matchup is...
It is the Grand Budapest Hotel versus Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
So cast your votes while you can. And all of our episodes are uploaded onto Revue Pod at podbean.com, as well as a slew of other podcasting sites such as Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And while you're there, you can rate and review us. Because if you like the show, it helps other people find it. And if you want to write into the show, heck, you could do that at reviewpod@gmail.com. If you want to email into the show, what are you enjoying doing on your quarantine? Let us know. What, you've been getting into some projects? And crossing some stuff off your bucket list? Cleaning up the house? Getting laundry done? What are you doing with your lives? Let us know.
What are you doing on laundry?
What are you doing to keep sane out there? Let us know you're okay. But other than that, what do we got coming up Monday, JT?
Well, Troy, for Monday, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about what I'm pretty sure 75% of the world's talking about because they're stuck in their house. We're going to be talking about that Netflix documentary, Tiger King.
Oh my God, are we? It's going to be a good time. I'm loving that Netflix is putting up like what other people are watching now, because Tiger King is. I looked at it today, and it's still the #1 thing watched in the U.S. right now. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that'll be a good time. If you haven't seen it yet, it's only 7 episodes on Netflix, so check it out before we talk about it Monday.
And I dare you to try and not watch it all in one day. Holy shit.
I know probably the first 4 episodes I know for sure end with like a what the fuck cliffhanger that makes you just want to keep going on. But more of that to come Monday. But yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, dive in, and we'll be chatting about that Monday, so you can tune in for that. But otherwise, that's been the show. So we'll see you Monday for Tiger King.
Yeah.
But until then, I have been Short of the Max Extreme.
Hey, I'm JG3K.
And we'll see you Monday for Tiger King. And we are off.